Hey, how's it going? How's it going? How's it going? Some more. This is Politics with Laura. Oh, there is a lot going on, and I'm going to do a little bit of the international news as well because there's some stuff going on in Africa that I want to talk about. And I find that we can learn a little bit of something, a little something, something. And I find that to make sure that check it all my I got all these little things going on all over the place. Oh no. I'm struggle streaming. Okay. All right. Let me make sure I hear myself. I hear myself. All right, let's go ahead and get down to the nitty gritty. All right. All right. Megan Kelly, she talks about an October surprise. Well, today is the last day in October. Happy Halloween. If you happen to see a Democrat, don't be scared. If you happen to see a Republican, don't be scared. But the independent people, you might want to be nice to them. Be nice. I'm so silly. All right. So back to Megan Kelly. Oh no. What is going on? Why is this happening? Okay. I'm struggle streaming. Bear with me. Bear with me. All right. Megan Kelly. As I said, she's talking about an October surprise. But now my thing is this: what does Megan Kelly know that we don't know? Because she hasn't said anything yet. I don't know whether if it is just an attention grabber or not. But before I go even further down a rabbit hole, please stick with me. Please like. That's for free. Like. And those of you who like to watch, please, I thank you for watching, but hit that subscribe button. That's for free. And if you don't want to do that, then help me in other ways because it's just me, my computer, my microphone, and my good old camera that I have hooked up to my video to my computer. So all things help. Politics with Laura, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. Every dollar helps me build my studio. So please help me out there. Help me, help me, help me. All right. Back to what I was talking about, Megan Kelly. So I don't know what her news is or her October surprise. She hasn't said anything as of yet. So I thought that was quite interesting and an attention grabber and to get people talking about her. So, hey, I don't hate on that. I don't hate on that. Now, Africa. I thought this was interesting. And I found this article in Namibia news in Africa. So it seems like that the World Bank, yes, I said it, the World Bank has its eyes on Africa. Now, it always has if it was exploiting them in one way or another. If it were getting them into a situation to where they may need, how can I say, Africa is just, it's just in a position that is not good at all. And consistently being used and abused by these countries and World Bank. And the World Bank says, hey, we'll loan you some money, but you got to give up some of your sovereignty. Stuff like that. That is a terrible thing to do, but that's what they do. I call that predatory lending. But here, World Bank working to address lack of investment in Africa's renewable energy. Well, I find that interesting because Africa has nothing but energy. It does. And as the energy, how can I say, how the energy is being as the energy is being, shall I say, siphoned from the African people and into the hands of these unscrupulous bankers and world politicians in there just carving out Africa again. But here, they want to invest. Now, do you really want to invest or do you want to put them in a trick bag again? Is that what your main purpose is? I'm just asking. I'm asking for a friend down the hallway. She wants to know. And then I'll let her know. But World Bank, what is it really with you? Do you really want to help? Or again, I don't know. I don't trust you. But I'm in the US, so I can say that. Now, over in Africa, they're not. At least I don't believe so. But I thought I would bring that out. So here. Now, I thought this was interesting. The World Bank has unified efforts to address challenging, hindering the growth of distributed renewable energy in Africa. I don't know how that would even be an issue, but it is. Here, the guarantees will be to address the lack of funding due to Africa's being considered high risk in terms investment. I wonder why it's high risk. Is it because you keep them clamped down, and in order for them to pay you back, they have to give up some of their sovereignty, or not sovereignty, but give up their natural resources, which you take? I mean, just a thought. But according to Nakeem, I'm not even going to tackle this last name. It has all the letters in the alphabet in this person's last name. I'm just going to say Nakeem O, the African regional head of the Multilateral Investment Guarantee Agency, an arm of the World Bank, and the bank is working to identify and address the challenges that better attract investment in this sector. Now, before I even spend a little additional time on that, I find that quite interesting. I really do. I find that really interesting because they're trying to identify challenges, or to address the challenges. Well, you know what the challenges are because you're the ones who made the challenges. And then you have a mass exodus of people that are leaving these countries. Africans are leaving their countries, not looking at what they have there. Now, when you leave your country and you go to another country that's already established, it's like, how can I put it? I'll put it like this. It's like those women that don't want to build with a man. No. She deserves a finished product. She deserves a guy that's already has all the millions of dollars, the nice house, and to give her what she feels that she deserves. She wants a finished product. That is what many people in Africa do. They want the finished product. They don't want to build their country. They want to come to these European countries that's already the finished product. Now, you might say, hey, well, look, Politics with Laura. Wait. Scoot your boots. You're being a little bit too harsh. No, I'm not. Because you are the same people that come over here and say, oh, my country is so corrupt, blah, 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 blah. But then you come to the most corrupt countries in the world, whether if it's US or whether if it's France, England, or whatever, there are levels of corruption. Your corruption, you may think it's horrible. It isn't. You have your countries that actually defend you. In other countries, like the US, they experiment on you. But I digress on that. You haven't gotten to that point yet. But if you haven't looked at the 19, yeah, that ought to be the blinking red light. But I digress on that. I digress on that point. But however, now the World Bank wants to get the renewable energy and help them. Well, look, I'm going to say King Charles because you do have a lot of property in Africa, part of the Commonwealth. What are you doing with the land that you're supposed to be a steward over? Not a damn thing. Besides, I'm not going to say anything about your queen consort. She's in a class all by herself, but I'm going to leave that alone. Africans, yes, you. I'm talking directly to you. You have a great opportunity to be able to build your country up. Yes, you're going to have to fight the corruption. No matter where you go, corruption is there. And you're not going to go anywhere and not feel it. Just get over it. You're just going to have to say, hey, corruption is there. I'm going to have to deal with it. Now, if you keep on leaving your land and then when you leave, then the government, because nobody ever goes back. You don't, unless if you get deported. That's the only reason why you go back. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. But you have other countries running your government, whether if it's the Red Dragon country, whether if it's England or France, they still have a stronghold in your country. You give them your natural resources. Yes, you do. And you give it to them, and then you have to pay for the finished product as if your money isn't over there in France. Yes, it is. And then you have to beg for your money, and then France is like, oh, these people, oh, I don't know what I'm going to do with them. Yes, we take their money and we get interest on it, and then we give them some money back, but it's just a pay. That's what you're doing. Yeah, but I'm going to leave that one alone. You're going to have to figure that one out for yourself. Okay. But I thought that it was quite interesting that the World Bank is now trying to look into renewable energy. Okay. All right. All right. Now, another thing that I thought that was quite interesting. I'm going to do another one, and then I'm going to get into the elections, the U.S. elections, is the ukulele country. Yes, the fact that I have to call it ukulele is a problem. We're supposed to have the freedom of speech in the United States. Our speech is rendered not free. You know, left, I'm going to say this to you. You may not like it. You don't like half the stuff that I say. Yeah, don't. But that is okay. Yeah, don't. But that is okay. When you try to hold someone's freedom of speech because you get emotional and you don't debate from facts, but you debate from emotions, and then you have these mega meltdowns and you're screaming out in the street. I should have put that up there, but I didn't. Screaming out in the street and all this other stuff and becoming unhinged, and you want to commit crimes, but you don't want to pay for the crimes that you commit because you're emotional. Can I tell you this? Grow up. Grow up. Stop acting like petulant children. That's exactly what you act like. And then you want people to take you seriously. No, you got to choose one, either be an adult or a child, but you can't be both. They call that a man child. But here, okay, the ukulele country. Now, I found this quite interesting in Namibia news. Here, the ukulele country is in new mobilization to drive as rushing waters advances. Yes. Now, they're calling for 160,000 more troops, right? In its military as Russian waters gains ground in the east of the ukulele country. Now, at some point, in my opinion, my woman's opinion is that you might want to stop Zelensky, and you might want to listen to what the real country, the President Barrett, before BB got back in and doing all this outrageous stuff, but that's something different. You allowed this to continue on. You listened to Biden. You walked with Biden, and Biden put you in a trick bag. Yes, he did. Now, you could sit here and blame Russian waters and Putin all you want. You can, but you still have to go back to the very beginning 2 years ago. You still got to go back to that, because none of this would have happened, Kamala Harris, you and your horrible negotiating skills. Terrible. But if you didn't fall in the trick bag, or unless if you were in it all along, I'm not quite sure. I look at some of the stuff that you were doing back then and how you use Igor Kolomoisky. If anyone who's pissed at you, it's him. He got you elected. Yes, you let him back in the ukulele country. Yeah, you did, after he got kicked out for corruption. I don't know how in the world. I'm still trying to figure this one out. I don't know how in the world that anyone can get kicked out of the ukulele country for corruption. I mean, what did he do? I mean, was he like straight up with his money laundering, or okay, I'll leave that alone. I'll leave that one alone. Leave it alone. Oh my goodness. Oh, goodness gracious. I'll leave that one alone. All right. But Russian waters has been advancing in the eastern Donetsk region in Tuesday, and it had fully captured the mining town of Silidov. Sorry for messing it up, but it's quite interesting how they got the mining town. So as they have that, they could do the mining and take control over that. You know. But the ukulele military has been under severe pressure of late, in part due to Russian waters' great manpower and deeper resources. Of course. And you have all this information saying that Zelensky is dun, 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 dun. Yeah, no. He's not quick draw McDraw. No. He's droopy draws. Yes. Okay. That didn't come out right. Okay, but there are plans to call for more 160,000 more people. Now, where are these people coming from? Because by you not be, let me make sure that make sure you see me. By you not being a part of NATO, and you're not, and you're letting NATO carry that little carrot in front of you as you're doing all this wild stuff, jumping to NATO's every whim for that carrot that they're never going to give you, because you're doing exactly what they want. They're going to use you to get to the Russian waters to get rid of Putin so they can control all of Europe. And they're using you, Zelensky. Now, I don't know whether I'm pretty sure that you're aware of it, but have you looked at what you're doing to your people as you're trying to do the stage left and coming to the US? We know what you're doing, Florida. But with that going on there, Zelensky, you were used. But I digress on that point. So 160,000 more people. I don't know where they're going to come from. You had U.S. people there on the ground. You had people, English veterans, U.S. veterans. You had other people. You had people from Africa, especially from Nigeria, going over there to help you fight. And you're losing. Big time. Big time, you're losing. And it's just like, how many people, make sure. How many people have you lost thus far? Because you have lost a lot of people. And it's not being reported accurately. But if you go in other places, they're going to tell you the truth. Okay? So there's a lot there. A lot there, Zelensky. A lot there, ukulele country. A lot there. Okay, let me see where else. And okay, so it's going to take over a 3-month, over 3 months. But the announcement comes as a ukulele continues to continue to comment on personnel for its incursions and the Kursk region of Russian waters, which started in August, and I'm going to tell you, it hasn't even begun. When it gets cold, it's going to be something completely different. It hasn't even begun, in my humble opinion. And, reading up on the past and how Russian waters did things, they do it during the winter time. But the Pentagon estimates around 10,000 North Korean troops have been deployed to train in eastern Russian waters. Quite interesting. But the U.S. said on Tuesday that a small number of North Korean troops have been sent to Kursk, and a couple of thousand more are headed there. So, why not just say WW3? Let's just say it, WW3, instead of walking around it. But South Korea has claimed that the troops are being trained in various locations, with many wearing Russian waters uniforms in order to disguise themselves. Okay. I can see how they could do that. If you look, okay, okay, let me say this. If you look at Putin, really look at him, he looks Asian. He does. And I'm going to leave it right there. But it seems like Zelensky, you have bitten off more than you can chew, and you're just up to your eyeballs. And no matter where you go, you continuously ask for money from the U.S. I don't know who else is giving you money, but we have given you money. And the fact that your wife went to France and spent money that should have gone towards what it was supposed to be used for, and that right there is for military usages and not for her to splurge over there in France. I still want my tax money back. That $80,000 didn't belong in France. It belonged right there in the ukulele country. And where's the account? I want to see invoices, because you're not giving invoices. No invoices, no more money. Just my thought. Okay. Now, after all of that, let's get to the U.S. side of things. The presidential election. You have Kamala Harris, and then you have Donald Trump. It is going down. It is most definitely going down. Now, Trump is already saying, oh, we're not going to have this happen again. 2020 will never happen again. I'm not going to go through all this stuff here and saying what I believe to be true. Now, I'm going to say this. PA, Pennsylvania. Now, I'm from Pennsylvania. Yes, I'm a mountain girl. Yes, I am. Now, there are a lot of people that are being bussed in. Yes, I'm going to say illegal immigrants. and they're having an upsurge of people that are registering to vote. Now, the last time I checked, you had to be an American citizen or a naturalized citizen in order to vote in the United States elections. You had to be an American citizen. But apparently, for some reason, shall I say, that doesn't matter anymore. That doesn't matter anymore. No, it doesn't. You could be from Namibia. I'm picking on you for a second. And you could come over here with a light blue blanket and some flip-flops on. And 2 days later, you could register to vote and vote in the presidential election. The United States is a laughing stock because the Democrats do not want to change their platform. You have been using and abusing Black Americans because Black Americans are one of those people who will vote for you even though you don't get a damn thing for your vote. You don't get sugar, honey, or iced tea for your vote. That's what Black Americans have been doing. But since some of us, I was a lifelong Democrat until I woke up after having an argument, and it was a slap down debate with a Republican. And I'll say it again, I'll thank you for dealing with my ignorant self, because I was arguing from emotions and how the Democrats and all this other stuff. And you said one thing to me, I have never forgotten this. And you said to me, you said, "Hey, Laura, what have you gotten from the Democratic Party?" He said, "What have you gotten? What did you receive? Has your life been better?" I was embarrassed. He had me clipped me up, had me clipped. And he was right. And I had to shut my mouth and marinate on that. And some of us need to marinate on that, because I was a Democrat, because my mother was a Democrat, my grandmother was a Democrat. And my mother and grandmother were able to vote when they were adults. My grandmother was in her 50s when she was able to vote. My mother was 24 the first time she voted, and she voted Democrat because that's all she knew. They were talking about free stuff then. Free this, free that. But hey, that's what it was. Let me go ahead and get into this. All right. Trump is laying down the groundwork to challenge the election he might lose. And he's right on that. Now you could say, "Hey, politics with Laura, look at you. You over there being a Trumpster." Nah. No, I'm not being a Trumpster. I'm looking at a pattern of behavior. This mess happened last time, and when it got all sorted out, they found that a lot of fraud went on in Pennsylvania due to the voter fraud that occurred in Pennsylvania. And people have gone to the clink clink because of it. And they were able to sort it out, 3 years later? By that time, your vote didn't count anyway. So I agree with them. I do. You're gonna say politics with Laura. You're not even giving anybody a chance. I am giving a chance, but I just know what I'm looking at. I know what I'm looking at. And yes, the border czar didn't do a doggone thing about the border until what 2 months ago? All of a sudden you want to slow down when you got 25 million illegal people in a country. No one can absorb 25 million people in one single country. How do you absorb that many people in a short period of time? Now, those of you who are like, "Well, you're over there, you're only doing your identity politics." I expect you to do your identity politics. I expect that. I expect you not looking at the train getting ready to hit you. I expect you to get run over by the train. I do, because you're too busy being a part of your party and not an American citizen. You're not even looking at the Constitution and seeing that it's being stepped all over. Now, some of you will say, well, the Constitution has been stepped on. And the fact that you know that and you're not outraged, you drank the Kool-Aid, and you're fine drinking the Kool-Aid until the Kool-Aid is gone and there's a whole bunch of sugar at the bottom of it, and that's all you have. Just a thought. All right. But here, okay, Philadelphia, Donald Trump is turning Pennsylvania into battleground zero for a preemptive claim on a rigged election. I can't even say that without getting strikes. Okay, when voters in Bucks County, that's on I-78, the key suburb outside of Philadelphia, is facing long lines and early cutoffs while they're trying to request and cast mail-in ballots in person. Trump's aide and ally not only successfully sued to extend the on-demand voting period, but also seized on it as evidence of voter suppression, most definitely, and intimidation. Now, I have family in Pennsylvania. So I'm trying to get people to talk to me on a podcast so that you could hear what's going on. Now, I just had a conversation with my cousin's friend, and she was saying that there are a lot of people that have come to Lancaster, and they don't speak English, and they are there trying to cast their ballots. So that is true. There's a lot of truth to that. Now, I think I may wind up driving up there and seeing for myself if I can't get anybody to talk, because a lot of my family are Democrats, diehard Democrats. So I'm going to have to talk to my friends or their friends to see if they want to talk to me. Hopefully they do, because if they do, then you'll hear it from, boots on the ground, that people are there and they're seeing these things. So I pray that this would happen. So here. So when voters in Bucks County, the key suburb outside of Philadelphia, faces a long line of cutoff. Okay, I already said that. But when Lancaster said it was reviewing voter registration applications for possible fraud, good. Trump falsely claimed that there were thousands of fake ballots, and York County said, York is right outside of Harrisburg, said it had received thousands of voter material it was reviewing, which Trump said that there were thousands of potentially fraudulent applications. Now, let's go ahead and dissect that a little bit. These people that are here illegally are being bounced around all over the United States. So we got 25 million people. That right there, you could that's so many damn people. This is ridiculous, and it's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. Look. Okay, I'm just going to free flow. This is ridiculous, and the fact that you have people defending this malarkey, defending as if this mierda is normal. This is not normal. And the fact that you are, and I'm talking to you, progressive Democrats, I'm talking to you. The fact that you are walking around as this is normal, and then you hold on to, I hate Trump. And that's your only thing. I hate Trump. Anyone but Trump. But you're not looking at what you're allowing to happen. You're not looking at the Constitution as being decimated. And those of you who say, well, the Constitution didn't have Black people in mind. Oh, could you please stop with that mierda as well? You have the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendments that belong to Black Americans descended of slaves. Yes, we're in there. But the fact that you're ready and willing to let it go, and the fact that you're ready and willing to allow people to use the amendments that were made for Black Americans, and you're letting other people capitalize on it and then step on your backs because you're too busy being, well, it's not only for Black Americans, it's only for white people, and white people's racist, and the Constitution is a racist document, and blah blah blah. Oh, please miss me with that. Miss me with it. If you feel that strongly, why are you still here? Just a thought. Why are you still here if you think the Constitution doesn't include you? All right, I'm done with my little 2-second rant. Oh my goodness. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. You can't make it up. But in Lancaster County, so yeah, the fraudulent applications, and yeah, you have a lot of people coming in. They're being bussed in. They don't speak the language. They need interpreters, translators. The last that I heard was that in order to vote, to be a U.S. naturalized citizen, you had to speak English. Unless if I missed something, because the U.S. is up for grabs now. Anybody can come here. Thank you, progressives. Thank you. All right. So, and this right here, it looks like Trump is saying, hey, I see the same thing going on. I see it. So let me go ahead and put claims to it now, because I see that they're simply being blatant with it up front. They're not even trying to hide it. Okay, if Trump loses the state, then these are the bricks that could make up the foundation for the attempts to overturn that loss. Pennsylvania is cheating and getting caught at a large scale level rarely seen before. Trump posted without evidence on his social media site. Now, I don't think that's a good thing, to post something that you haven't, to where you really don't have that evidence to say that. And you're muddying the waters, Trump. You're muddying the waters. Just my opinion. I'm an independent. I beat up on both sides. Okay. He continued Thursday. We caught them cheating in a big Pennsylvania. Cheating big in Pennsylvania, excuse me. We must announce and prosecute now, he posted. You're jumping ahead of yourself. But here he's just, putting this out there. And look, I'm going to say this. Trump is an easy person not to like. He's easy not to like. Okay. But one thing you can never say, that you can never question his fidelity for this country. He's faithful to this country. He is. The fact that he told NATO, yo, come up with that cash. And they did. Other presidents didn't do it. They just let NATO just use and abuse this country. We're defending life and limb with our military, and they pay nothing. But the fact that Trump's like, come off that cash, come it off. Yo, come off that cash. Give that cash, or we're going to leave your ash. That's what he did. But Joe Biden, it was about the same old. Kamala Harris is going to be the same old times 3. And that right there is what has been done for a long time. Now, I'm not saying, and please keep this in mind. Keep this in mind. Trump is a Democrat. Democrats didn't want him. He ran as a Republican, won as a Republican. The Republicans don't like him, nor do they want him. Now, there's a certain sector especially the ultra conservative. Now, understand this. Oh, the fact I got to keep on saying this. Trump is not conservative. He's not. He puts America first. If you look at it, he had a lot of liberal stuff. And he is liberal, not liberal in a progressive way, the way these people are. Look, you all are ridiculous. You progressive people are really ridiculous in the things that you want, and you want it and you have no way of paying for it. I'm not going to get into it, but you might want to check some of the things what you're doing. It's outrageous and silly. But you're going after one of your own. Trump is a Democrat, and you're going after and destroying your fellow Democrat. But you're going after him. Now, he's one of those old school Democrats. Oh, and when you're calling him a racist, right? But you don't have that same smoke for Joe Biden. I mean, he got 7 years in public service as a senator and 4 as president, and you have not once said anything about his racism, but you make excuses for him. Yeah, black people, you sit there and call Trump a racist off of what, a full page ad? Yeah, I'm saying this for one person. I'm trying to get her to come up and talk to me. Yes, I'm going to go there. You sit there and you're talking about Trump putting a full page ad based on information that was fed to the people in New York City about the Central Park 5. You don't say anything about the detective who's a Democrat that did this, that brought in this fake information and knew that they were not, knew that they were innocent, but went along with it anyway. The district attorney and then the prosecutor and the city prosecutor, both Democrats. They knew what was going on. The one stepped down, hiding the information, and then put these people in jail. And also the mayor, Koch, then Davis, both Democrats. And you have no smoke for them? Zero. And then the mayor, and then the governor was a Democrat. You have no smoke for that, but you spend all your time talking about Trump and this full page ad that ran for a little bit based on what was given from the newspapers. Did the newspapers apologize? Hell no. Did any of those people I name apologize? Hell no. But because Trump is running as a Republican and he's running for president, now it's a problem, but you have no smoke for the people. Now, those of you who progressives who only do surface level stuff, and that's all you do is surface level stuff. You don't go after the real corporates, but you're going to go after Donald Trump, but you don't go after the other people. I find that fanciful thinking. I do. Now, by me saying all of this, and you call me a Trumpster, I have to say, and even a MAGA, dark MAGA, black MAGA, whatever the hell you want to call it, the fact that you don't even look at what I lay out, and the first thing you say was, I wasn't talking about that. I was only talking about the full page, but you're not going far enough. But because I go down the rabbit hole to the people to where it began, and you're fine with him apologizing, he's apologizing. Okay, now that I could go ahead and look at it because he apologized. That is a bunch of BS. It doesn't even deal with, because you're saying he's a racist, but you're not looking at the real racists. You're just pointing at him. I have an issue with that. because you didn't go down the rabbit hole to get with it. Now, the thing that blew me away, was that the 5 guys that were the Central Park the Central Park 5, how they stood next to Democrats and came out against Donald Trump, blew me away. All that $42 million. I mean, you must be living pretty, and you should have received the money. I'm glad you got the money, but you're losing your sensibilities because you're standing next to the Democrat, the party that put you in that position to begin with. Now, I would be remiss if I didn't say that those 2 14-year-olds, those 2 15-year-olds, and that one 16-year-old who was tried as an adult were not out there being fools. And they weren't out there with other people committing little petty crimes and intimidating people and assaulting people. Yes, they did. Did they deserve to lose 13 years of their life? No. But they should have been reined in. But it just so happens that democratic cities allow this to fester. And then when they're made to do so, okay, I'm getting ready to go on and on. I'm not going to go on. I'm done with that. But that's one of the main things what they talk about when it comes to Trump. But Biden and Kamala, oh my goodness. You're talking about what Donald Trump said. You're not even looking at what Kamala did and her policies. And then she said, oh yeah, I'm black. I went to Howard University. That don't mean a damn thing. Oh yeah, and my ex-boyfriend, yeah, I went ahead and intervened in a marriage. He was 30 years older than I, 31. Yep. Downtown Willie Brown, the mayor. But once you became district attorney, all of a sudden he wasn't nothing. I'm going to leave that alone right there. I can see myself getting in trouble. But it's easy to not like Trump, right? Because he's not going to put sweet little things in your ears. He's going to tell you exactly how he sees it. But then you have Kamala here putting those little in your ear, and you're okay with that. But Donald Trump, yeah, you're lazy. You know, whatever it is. All right. But back to this. But in the final days before the election, they are blowing up allegations of malfeasance and administration mistakes, but the election officials and claims of error in Pennsylvania into 5 alarm fires. Now, okay, that may be true. And I think that Trump should slow down on his rhetoric. I believe so. But when you see something, I believe in saying something, but not to that point. But our election integrity team has been notified of the legitimate instances of voter fraud and voter suppression by real voters on the ground. Trump campaign spokesperson Caroline Leavitt said in a statement, while the media labels these examples as conspiracy theories. Now, can we get one thing straight? Can we get one thing straight? Conspiracy doesn't mean that someone lied. And the fact that, you know, a 3-letter agency has weaponized that word to mean something that it actually doesn't. Conspire means that 2 or more people are committing a crime. That's it. 2 or more people committing a crime. That's a conspiracy theory, but I digress. Okay, there it is. Okay. Trump's team and the Republican National Committee are taking every allegation seriously to ensure a safe and secure election for all Americans, regardless of who they are voting for. And I'm going to leave that right here. And the last time I checked is that there are different parties that we're able to choose from. So the fact that, and a lot of you Democrats that I even talk to, some people don't even talk to me anymore. The fact that if I don't agree with you, then we are not talking because I don't agree with you. I don't agree with Kamala's platform. I don't agree with what she's trying to bring in. I don't agree with it. I just see that it's, oh man, okay. I just don't agree with it. I agree for stronger borders. Now, when I voted for, immigration, it was all, oh my goodness, it was all about international friendships. And that's what this is. International friendships. And maybe another live stream, I'll get into as far as what do these illegal immigrants bring to the United States. Maybe I'll do a live stream on that, and then we can, chop it up and see, are these people coming in and are they bringing 4 to 6 year degrees in how they're going to make this country better? And when you say, well, they're taxpayers, everybody's taxpayers. But what level of tax bracket are they going to be in? Are they going to pay more taxes or less taxes? And let's also keep in mind that when they come, money leaves this country. The money leaves the country. So we're losing out even more. But I'll digress on that. So maybe I'll do a live stream on that, just focusing just on a couple of things, what illegal aliens bring to this country. And the fact that when I say illegal, you sort of forget the IL first, and you only focus on legal immigrants. You don't focus on that they came and jumped ahead of everyone else. Look, 25 million people jumped ahead of people that were coming here legally, and you see nothing wrong with that. That's a problem. And then they make YouTube and TikTok videos telling other people what to do and saying, my baby was born in the United States. But what they fail to realize is this: the 14th Amendment, should I say this? 14th Amendment was for Black Americans that were descendants of slaves, but also it has a lot to do with people coming from other countries. When you have two people that do not have a status, nor do they have, or are they naturalized citizens? They're none of those things, but they're having babies and their child is an American citizen. That's not how it's supposed to go. That child is not supposed to get anything from this country. However, our politicians bent the rules to allow this mass influx. Now, South Africa, you don't see people running there and say, oh, I got a South African citizen. No, people who go to South Africa, they got degrees and money. Not the United States. Okay, I'm gonna leave that alone. But on that note, what are your thoughts? Like, subscribe. Please help me out. Like and subscribe. Like, that's for free. Subscribe. That's for free as well. Any and all things will help. And I want to thank you for stopping by.